I can line I thoroughly enjoyed performing William Shakespeare dialogue. It talked into the evening. You are an amazing Shakespearean actor, Leilana. The fluency of your delivery and the way you identify with the dialogue is captivating. You embody the characters that you portray so fully that you take them to a level of transcendence whereupon art and life intermingle. Thanks. This is paradise for me, Leilana. Peace, love, romance, William Shakespeare. The poetry of his writing and the way the words come to life through our performances and the feeling of being immortally in love with you. That was beautifully stated, Mike. Do you want to go to Pancakes by the Bay tomorrow? Sure. Michael and I went to Pancakes by the Bay the next day and got their usual booth by the window. Penelope, their waitress, takes their order. What's it going to be for you this morning? Give me the Bayside griddle cakes and a cup of mountain morning coffee. I'll have the scrumptious pancakes and a cup of mountain morning coffee. I'll have that for you people. All of a sudden, Mike and Ilana look out the window and see the same woman pull up in her Corvette. She gets out of the car with a package in her hands and looks directly at them. She opens up the package, and Mike and Ilana see inside of it. In it, there seems to be an object of a color they have never seen and a shape they have never seen. This object is an object that can only be seen from a plane of existence that is beyond the four dimensions of time and space. The woman then gets back in the car and drives away. Did you see that? Yeah, I wonder how we were able to see that object that usually can only be seen on higher dimensional planes of existence. I can explain that to you, Mike and Leilana. You have been enlightened by love. Your love is so strong that you could see beyond the stark and often unappealing realm of four-dimensional reality on this earthly plane of existence into an immortal realm of eternal human love. You now see the world in its full glory. Your love brings the world to life. That's great. I agree. Do you want to go back to your condominium practices of William Shakespeare and other dialogue from other people? Sure. Michael and Leilana went back to Mike's condominium practicing more dialogue. Here's the next one. Michael and Leilana thoroughly enjoyed. They're performing a William Shakespeare and other people's dialogue and talked into the evening. Would you like a beer, Leilana? Sure, what do you have? I have some Anchor Steam California Lager. Awesome. Mike goes to the refrigerator and gets some of the beer. What do you think about when you're here all alone? I look out at the Golden Gate Bridge and see lovers hand in hand, and then look up at the sky. I have a telescope that brings into focus distant planets, but you could only see them as light images. That's only a view of planets in our galaxy. I then think about planets in other galaxies and the possibility of intelligent life on other planets. We haven't found intelligent life in our galaxy so far. There may have been intelligent life in our galaxy on other planets eons ago. I then wonder that if there was intelligent life on other planets, what kind of society they had or have. I wonder if it is possible that there is or ever was a kind of utopian society where anywhere in the universe where life was or is a blissful dance of unmitigated pleasure and romance. If so, I wonder if these pleasures are so acute that they transcend any earthly pleasures we can experience, placing souls forever suspended in a state of heightened sensory engagement. It would be similar to that feeling you get when you first fall deeply in love with another person and your world is suddenly raised to a higher plateau. That feeling would be intensified there and would be something you would feel eternally with your lover. That would be so beautiful. Do you want to go to the Pancakes by the Bay for breakfast tomorrow? Sure, Mike and Leilani went to Pancakes by the Bay. Breakfast and coffee the next morning, got their usual table by the window. Penelope took their order. What do you people want? I'll have the Bayside griddle cakes and a cup of mountain morning coffee. Great. What's it going to be for you, Leilani? Give me the Bayside crepes and a cup of mountain morning coffee. I get that for you people. They are looking out of the window when all of a sudden the same woman in the Corvette pulls up. She's holding a package. She looks right at them from the side of her car. Another woman gets out of the car and walks into the restaurant. She looks at them directly sitting at the table. Can you guess what's in this package? She then saunters out of the restaurant, keeping her head in the same position, staring at them the whole way to the car. She screams and then laughs at a high volume, and the car races away. That was weird. Yeah. Would you like to go back to my condominium and practice more dialogue? Sure. Michael and Leilani went back to Mike's condominium and practice more dialogue. Michael and Leilani got up the next morning and went to Pancakes by the Bay for breakfast and coffee. They got their usual table by the window. Penelope, their favorite waitress, took their order. What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be this morning? Give me the Bayside griddle cakes and a cup of mild morning coffee. Got it. What'll you have? I'll have these succulent crepes and a cup of mountain morning coffee. Coming right up. Penelope goes to get their food and coffee, and they start talking. This is bizarre. I wonder what the woman had in the package. I don't know. She laughed as she drove off. I wasn't sure if it was a sinister laugh or a jovial laugh. This Corvette woman seems to be an important character in the fabric of human interaction. The packages that she passes on to other people are not very often revealed as to what they contain, but when they are, seem to demonstrate that their contents are extremely important. I agree. All of a sudden, Penelope, the waitress, comes up to them. Hi, Penelope, what's up? Hi, Mike. Hi, Leilani. Can I let you people in on something? Sure, what is it, Penelope? Enjoy being a waitress here and talking to you fine people like you, but I got some higher ambitions in life. What are they? My goal here has always been to be a filmmaker. I've been waiting to be inspired, and I finally have a great idea for a movie. As a matter of fact, the movie has already been shot, and I just need a movie company to fund it. If it's good, I'm sure they have no problem with that. What's it about? I've been observing people in and around Pancakes by the Bay, in the restaurant, and outside. I've been writing dialogue that embellishes conversations I have heard and have pieced together a story of events that have taken place. I've gone home after work and written a script based on events I have seen and dialogue I have heard. I have a rough draft of the script and a low budget production of the movie. What I want is to get it produced by a mainstream Hollywood producer such as Martin Scorsese. That's wonderful, Penelope. I hope you achieve your dream. Here's the weird aspect of the situation. In observing these people and writing a story about them, I found something disturbing. What? There's been a murder. I don't know who committed the murder, only that it was committed by some of these people. How do you know there was a murder? I saw some people pull up in a van and throw a body inside. Their identity was concealed with masks. But I happen to know it was these people. How do you know? A hat that several of these people have been wearing to the restaurant. They take turns wearing the same hats on different days. The people in the van, when they drove off, accidentally dropped this hat. I retrieved this hat and compared it to the hat as seen by security cameras. Indeed, a close analysis has revealed this to be the same hat. Can't you deduce from that it must be one of the people who wore the hat? The problem is that almost everybody that comes in here tries on that hat. It's a beautifully rare hat that people want to try on. So, knowing who has worn the hat doesn't give me any clues. Here's my idea. I have this story that I have written, produced by a Hollywood movie company, and people come to see it. Within the movie, there is evidence of a murder that took place. The viewing audience can try to piece together the evidence and see if they can solve the murder. That way, the movie might not only be a box office hit, but produce evidence to solve a murder case. Great idea, Penelope. Yeah, it is. Would you like to practice some more dialogue? Sure. Mike and Lana want to beg the mic sound and everybody some more dialogue. Michael and Lana went to Pancakes by the Bay the next morning for breakfast and coffee. Penelope took their order. What's it going to be for you this morning? Give me the mountain morning coffee and Bayside griddle cakes. And for you? Give me the mountain morning coffee and Bayside crepes. Sure, I'll have that for you. Have you thought about the murder yet? Yeah. I was trying to understand the motive for it. Also, there's not enough physical evidence to directly connect the murder to any person. All we know is that it was committed by a person who was wearing the same hat that people have been taking turns wearing. That gives us a pretty good clue, but it's not definitive evidence that the person who committed the murder was a person who wore that hat. Yeah, they were wearing that hat when we saw them throw the dead body in the van, but we don't know the circumstances of where they got the hat. Somebody left some kind of a pamphlet on the table. What is it? Leilani looks through the pamphlet. It looks like some kind of an invitation to a pagan ceremony. They are honoring the pagan deity Gorgon. That might be a clue. There are pagan religions that believe that human sacrifice can confer immortality to a person if it is offered up to the gods. I don't believe that myself, but there are crazy people out there. Maybe some of the people who have been coming here are part of a pagan religion that sacrifices human beings to Gorgon. We should try to observe some of these people more closely in the future to see if they seem suspicious. Yeah, do you want to go back to my condominium to practice some more dialogue? Sure. Mike and Leilani went back to Mike's condominium to practice more dialogue. Mike and Leilani thoroughly enjoyed their dialogue performances and talked into the evening. What a beautiful night it is, isn't it? Leilani? It's a night that invites lovers into the warm embrace of the ocean breeze that massages the body and soul of transcended people. That's what I was thinking. A warm late June evening by the San Francisco Bay with my goddess of love. That's not merely being alive. That's living. Have you thought at all about the murder at Pancakes by the Bay? No. I've just been thinking about what a shame it is that we are confronted by such heinous crimes in this life. Life could be so wonderful if we were to cooperate as human beings. The beauty in romantic love and just the beauty of being alive. I've wandered alone through this world at certain times in my life and have experienced unbridled mirth just by being in contact with a higher power that is the harmonizing element of nature. I believe that we were spawned by an immortal fire and shall return to this immortal fire to repeat the cycle of birth and death. Immortal fire, that's interesting. I believe in a higher power and an immortal fire. A higher power, awesome. Yeah, a higher power. I've been thinking about the murder. I have a theory. You do? Yeah, here it is. I was thinking that it may be a remote possibility that Penelope did it. Penelope, the waitress? Oh, come on. She wouldn't do it. She's trying to solve the murder by filming a movie about it that gives people clues as to who committed the murder. What if she was only filming a movie to solve the murder case, only as a way to cover up for herself, the person who committed the murder? You might be onto something, Leilana. There is a certain amount of plausibility to that. Do you want to go to Pancakes by the Bay for breakfast and coffee? Sure. The next morning arrives, and Mike and Leilana go to Pancakes by the Bay. Penelope takes her order. How can I help you? I'll have the mountain morning coffee and Bayside griddle cakes. What's it going to be for you, Leilana? I'll have the mountain morning coffee and Bayside crepes. Coming right up. How's the film project coming, Penelope? Good. I'm in talks with some Hollywood producers at the moment. Nice talking to you, Penelope. Likewise. Penelope goes to get their food. Does Penelope seem suspicious to you as a murder suspect? Not really, but it came to mind that if she was the murderer, filming a movie about the murder in order to give people clues about it would be a good way to cover herself up. I agree, but that doesn't necessarily give us much evidence that she is the murderer. I agree, but I think it's a remote possibility. Let's see if we can analyze her behavior. Yeah, we could see if she would have any motives for murder. Penelope comes back with her breakfast. Here's your grub and coffee. Thanks, Penelope. She doesn't seem violently angry to me. No, she doesn't. Do you want to go back to your condominium and practice more dialogue? Sure. Michael and I went back to Mike's condominium. Practice more dialogue. Here's an action from it. Okay. Let's see. Which movie? Clerks. Okay. Randall pulls a soda from the cooler. Want something to drink? I'm buying. No, thanks. Who was on the phone this morning at about 2:30? I was trying to call for a half an hour. Why? I wanted to use your car. He walks by a row of snacks and grabs one without looking. Snack cake. Dante sits in a seat behind the register. Randall grabs a paper and joins him behind the counter. You don't want to know. You called Caitlin again. She called me. Did you tell Veronica? One fight a day with Veronica is about all I can stomach, thanks. What did you two fight about? I guess it's not really fighting. She just wants me to leave here, go back to school, get some direction. I'll bet the most frequent topics of arguments is Caitlin Bree. You win. I'm going to offer you some advice, my friend. Let the past be the past. Forget Caitlin Bree. You've been with Veronica for how long now? 7 months. Chick's nuts about you. How long did you date Caitlin? 5 years. Chick only made you nuts. She cheated on you how many times? 8.5. 8.5. Party at John K's senior year. I get blitzed and pass out in his bedroom. Caitlin comes in and dives all over me. That's cheating? In the middle of it, she calls me Brad. She calls you Brad. She called me Brad. That's not cheating. People say crazy shit during sex. One time I called this girl Mom. I hit the lights and she freaks. Turns out, she thought I was Brad Michelson. What do you mean? She was supposed to meet Brad Michelson in the bedroom. She picked the wrong one. She had no idea it was even at the party. Oh my God. Great story, isn't it? That girl was vile to you. Interesting postscript to that story. Do you know who wound up going with Brad Michelson in the other dark bedroom? Your mother? Ellen Harris. Chess team Ellen Harris? The two moved to Idaho together after graduation. They raised sheep. That's frightening. It takes different strokes to move the world. In light of this lurid tale, I don't see how you could even romanticize your relationship with Caitlin. She broke your heart and inadvertently drove men to deviant lifestyles. Because there was a lot of good in that relationship. Oh, yeah, I'm serious. Aside from the cheating, we were a great couple. That's what high school is all about. Algebra, bad lunch, and infidelity. You think things would be any different now? They are. When she calls me now, she's a different person. She's frightened and vulnerable. She's about to finish college and enter the real world. That's got to be scary for anyone. Oh, shit. Got to place an order. I'm talking to myself here. No, I'm listening. She's leaving college and she's looking for me to support. She's looking to me for support. And I think that this is leading our relationship to a new level. What about Veronica? I think the arguments Veronica and I are having are some kind of manifestation of a subconscious desire to break away from her so that I can pursue the possibility of a more meaningful relationship with Caitlin. Caitlin's on the same wavelength? I think it's safe to say yes. Then I think all four of you had better sit down and talk it over. All four? You, Veronica, Caitlin, and Caitlin's fiance. The headline of the engagement announcement reads, Bree to wed Asian design major. Okay. Is this the movie Clerks 2? No, it's part 2 of the original movie Clerks. Okay. Interior video store night on counter. You're just going to lock the store like that? I want to talk to you about something, and I don't want to be disturbed. You saw it. Very dramatic, I thought. It's not what you think. What, it's worse? You're pregnant with an Asian design major's child? I'm not pregnant. Were you going to tell me or just send me an invitation? Okay, I'm going to go to another script. Wait a minute. Okay. Oh, here's more Clerks stuff. Randall Graves, scourge of the video renter. Ladies and gentlemen, Mrs. Asian design major herself, Caitlin Bree. You saw that article? God, isn't that awful? My mother sent that in. I take it she likes the guy? You think she was marrying him? What are you watching? Children's programming. What did your mom say when you told her you weren't engaged anymore? She said not to go home until graduation. Oh, he got thrown out for Dante? What can I say? He does. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, let's go to another script. Pulp Fiction. Okay, now tell me about the hash browers. What do you want to know? Well, hash is legal there, right? Yeah, it's legal, but it ain't 100% legal. I mean, you can't walk into a restaurant, roll a joint, and start puffing away. You're only supposed to smoke in your home or certain designated places. Those are the hash bars? Yeah, breaks down like this. It's legal to buy it. It's legal to own it. And if you're a proprietor of a hash bar, it's legal to sell it. It's legal to carry it, which doesn't really matter because get a load of this. If the cops stop you, it's illegal for them to search you. Searching you is a right that the cops in Amsterdam don't have. That did it, man. I'm fucking gone. That's all there is to it. You'll dig it the most. But you know what the funniest thing about Europe is? What? It's the little differences. A lot of the same shit we got here, they got there, but they're a little different. Example? Well, in Amsterdam, you could buy a beer in a movie theater. And I don't mean in a paper cup either. They give you a glass of beer, like in a bar. In Paris, you could buy a beer at McDonald's. Also, you know what they call a quarter pounder and cheese in Paris? They don't call it a quarter pounder with cheese? No. You got the metric system there. They wouldn't know what the fuck a quarter pounder is. What do they call it? Royale with cheese. Royale with cheese. What do they call a Big Mac? Big Mac's a Big Mac, but they call it Le Big Mac. What do they call a Whopper? I don't know. I didn't go into a Burger King, but you know what they put in French fries in Holland instead of ketchup? What? Mayonnaise. Goddamn. I seen them do it. And I don't mean a little bit on the side of the plate. They fucking drown them in it. Ouch. Um, Raising Arizona. Nah. Scandal. Scandal? Okay. I never saw this movie. Wait, okay, I get to do a British accent to this. This is great. Okay. Let's see. Um, Mandy is American, Christine British. Okay. Um, do you mind? I have to dry my hair. I have to brush up. What's wrong with that? I don't want to find myself in Paris standing there like an idiot, not knowing what I'd say to a taxi driver. Is that what you've been going to say to a taxi driver? Amuse-vous bien? You say that to a taxi driver and he'll have you for lunch. Mandy Stein. What's wrong with you? What's happened? Nothing's happened. Where's the Persian? He's going to Scotland. I, s- I saw Nina Gad at the hairdresser's. You know Mina or Nina? No. Yes, you do. She knows you. What's that thing on your head? It's a frown pad. A what? It stops you frowning. Everybody wears them in America. It stops you getting lines. Monty, you're 16. 17 next month. Can't be too careful. You'll get on, you will. When I'm selling matchas in Piccadilly Circus, you'll be driving around in a Bentley. Tell me. Oh, wait a minute. See. So you got another script. I think that's enough.